Everybody don't know about respect. Everybody don't know about dignity. They don't know about principle. They don't take those things seriously as you. But they're lying to motherfuckers when you come into their life playing with their emotions, talking about something you know you want a relationship when you really don't. If you just want to fuck, just say that. If you just got a relationship with your ex yesterday, just say that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes God will send your ex back in your life to see if you're still stupid. You have to understand, the longer you keep putting up with shit that ain't benefiting you, that ain't making you grow, the more it's putting you in a space where you continue to not love yourself. A woman that is overly aggressive is a woman that has been hurt tremendously in her past. Understand, man, when you're dealing with an overly aggressive woman that don't want to follow a man's lead, that feel like she don't need a man, that woman is depressed. Just because you dating an older person don't mean that they're mature. I had to learn this the hard way. It be a lot of old people that be having childish ass mindset. Just go ahead and cut the record straight. So when you dealing with a grown ass woman, she wants a man. She wants a man that can actually stand up for himself. She don't want a nigga that she can control. She looks more what people show you versus say. You too grown to be out here teaching motherfuckers how to accept accountability. You too grown to be teaching motherfuckers out here to be teaching them how to accept accountability. You trying to soften their feathers or make them feel some type of way so they don't explode or get all mad when you hold them accountable. Say, your partner can't have a safe space if every time they bring an issue to you, you get defensive. You start deflecting. You start talking about how, oh, you ain't supposed to feel like this. You supposed to give your partner that safe space. I'm telling you, I used to be that nigga. Always deflecting, never taking accountability for how I made somebody feel.
You said, cease. You said, create a song about this.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to C's Podcast. I am your host, Sherelle Morrell. And C's Podcast is all about breaking generational curses, generational cycles, healing. And we have a dope guest on today. I'm going to introduce him to you all. His name's Cam. I actually found him on TikTok and he be spitting some games. So hopefully you all can receive something from him today. So Cam, I'm just going to ask you your name, your age, and where you're from.
Okay. So my name is Camron. I'm from Hammond, Louisiana. It's like 20 minutes outside of Baton Rouge and about 45 minutes away from New Orleans, Louisiana. It's a country town, so I'm a country boy. And and I'm 29. A lot of people think I'm 29. They think I'm like 21, 22 because I'm babyface.
Okay. I would have never guessed you was 29. I thought you was a little older. So look at that.
I'm 29 years old. So when it comes to generational curses and stuff like that, a lot of times we don't realize we have these curses because these curses don't show up until our adult relationships. So you don't realize that you have trauma until you actually end up in a relationship with another adult. So sometimes, like myself, I'm gonna use me for example. So my mother was very narcissistic, very controlling, very it's her way or the highway. And whenever everything goes her way, then everything it's a great day. But when it doesn't go her way, then everybody has to pay for it. Not knowing how to regulate your emotions. And a lot of parents don't know how to regulate their emotions because they was never taught by their parents, which is my grandparents. Because go back to slavery, we were just taught to just take everything in. As a black person, you don't have the right to express yourself emotionally. So you just hold everything in. And when you see somebody of your own kind, you let loose. And sometimes the trauma that our parents put onto us, it's not because they mean to, it's what they was taught. Slavery mentality. It's to all keep us in the nutshell. You know what I'm saying? Because the most dangerous thing to anybody is a person with a powerful mind and being able to understand generational curses, just like the conversation we have right now. It's very detrimental to society today. So how did I overcome my curses? It was hard, man. I spent many nights crying. I spent many nights trying to force my mother to see something in me that I saw in myself. And whenever she didn't see that, I would continue to have low self-esteem, which continued for me to go sleep around with numerous amounts of people that I didn't feel connected to because I just wanted the love from my mother. You know what I'm saying? Even though she was there. She might feel like she giving me love, but it wasn't the love that I needed. She never took time to sit down with me and be like, what do you need from me? It's all about what I can do for you. So that's the curse that I had to overcome. I had to sit down with myself and realize I have to start loving me more. And I ain't started realizing that till I was probably 19. I lost my father. And I'm like, the only person I can depend on is my mother. But I want to live a long, healthy life because I have to be a reflection of my children. So like I told you last week, I had to start loving myself more. And once I started
Mhm.
loving myself, I started breaking those curses. While mom talked to me crazy, hang up. I don't mind cutting her off. And once I learned how to cut my mother off, it became so easy to cut so many people off that was close to me. It's like I learned how to
Yeah,
be to myself and stuff like that. And I just feel like we need to understand sometimes the most trauma that we experience is from the people that we expect to love us the most. That's the only way you go overcome those traumas.
so
Sometimes
true.
you gotta go cold turkey not talking to mama. You gotta go cold turkey not talking to daddy, Titi, uncle. You have to, you know? And that's the first step of loving yourself. It's making everybody else see the value in you. But no one can see the value in you if you stay at home on the thing that's hurting you. So
Mm,
let go of those things that you feel like you love the most. You don't really love it. It's just your condition because it became your reality. So I was conditioned to believe that it's normal for my mom to treat me like this, you know? But once
yeah,
I got close to God, I started loving myself. When I started loving myself, He started giving me signs of things I need to do to better myself as a man. Because if I'm going to lead my household, I need to make sure that I have my head on straight, you
absolutely.
know? And I'm still operating as a boy, then I will never truly be a man.
Mm,
So that's the whole thing, man. You gotta let go of people that you feel like you love the most, or you feel like they love you the most. Because a lot of parents only love you based on condition. They don't love you because they love you. Think about it. Most parents had you because they was having sex out of stress. They was
mm,
having sex out of spite. Just like you see now in today's time. Most kids are born, the parents are with the grandmas. They're not with the parents because mama didn't really want to have them. Mama kept that baby to make old dude mad, to piss him off, so she could put him on child support. But reality hit because we think off emotions, which is slave mentality. Dang, this is not something I wanted. So now you're mentally abusing the kid, you sexually abusing the kid because you didn't really want this child. So a lot of people go through the psychological damage of being molested, beaten,
mhm,
all these different things because your parents really didn't want you. They want you out. They took care of you out of survival. Because when you actually
mhm.
love something, you're gonna take time with it to understand it. You're not gonna harm it. You're not gonna hurt it. And that's what I have to understand about myself, my relationships, the people that I hurt it. I didn't love them because I didn't love myself.
Yeah,
Because I was still operating as a boy because I was hurting from mommy issues. So any man out here that's moving off hurt, he's operating off mommy issues
mhm.
or daddy issues.
Or even daddy. Yeah, I was gonna say
So
that
keep in
too.
mind, my mom and dad was very successful in this world. I had came from a two-parent household. So that don't mean nothing.
Mm,
Because the worst feeling is when you are in a house and both of your parents is there with you every day, but you're constantly calling out and they're constantly not hearing you. They're constantly not talking to you. Because the most important thing in society is for us to be heard. Because once you hear something, you can understand it, you know?
yeah,
So I feel like I wasn't giving that proper love because she was still operating out of trauma. So that's my take on, stuff like that. Coming out of that nutshell due to trauma and stuff like that. You got to start loving yourself. And it's going to be hard, man. It's really going to be hard,
mhm.
especially for our people. And a lot of times you got to cut out the having um, sex with numerous amount of people. You got to cut
Mhm.
off the looking for validation. You got to cut off the excessive shopping. A lot of times when we emotionally on edge or we're depressed, we want to go spend money. That's,
That's right. Yeah.
you know, you want to change your diet. You know what I'm saying? I had gained a little weight because I was diet. I was a vegan for like 2.5 years. Felt amazing. You know what I'm saying? I felt connected to myself, but I fell into that deep hole of depression. So I had to hold
Mm.
myself accountable. I'm gonna get back to it, but a lot of times you got to change the lifestyle. You got to change the lifestyle because so many people that I ran across that I was trying to date, everybody was dealing with mommy issues, daddy issues.
Yeah.
And whenever you ask them, I say, this is my question when I ask people when I date. What's your relationship with your parents? A lot of people say this. Oh, I mean, my dad, he cool or whatever. They lie because they don't want to come off as if it's embarrassing to some people to not have a healthy relationship with their parents. But it
Mhm.
shows through their actions. It shows through their actions.
Yeah.
You know, being too clingy, being obsessive, being overprotecting,
Mm.
stuff like that. Not knowing how to take accountability, being over emotional. That's why I say it's very important for parents to mold their children into the healthy foundation that you want them to be. But mold their children into something they regret later. That's your fault.
Right,
So that's where
right,
it come to me with parenting. I have to make sure I give my kids a healthy foundation because they're a reflection of me. When they get older, they go look at their parents. If some
right.
of them they end up on the news doing something crazy, they go look at Cameron. You know,
Hmm.
because they're a kid. They don't do what they're taught. I had a habit. I would curse in front of my son, but he'll curse too, and I'll be like, man, how I'm gonna whoop him and get mad at him when I'm doing it? So let me change
Right.
for myself. You
Yeah.
know, so a lot of things starts with self. If you don't look in the mirror and change self, it don't matter how many times you go to church, how many times you pray, nothing never work. No matter how many podcasts you get on and talk, it don't never work, man. You got to do the work
Right.
yourself. You know,
Wow. Yeah. No, I appreciate you saying that. Were you ever able to dive in and have those conversations with somebody that you were dating?
people are great pretenders. They're great pretenders.
It's true. It's
You have three
true.
faces: faces whenever they're alone, faces when they're with you, faces when they're with their friend. So they're only going to show you what they want you to know. They'll come off. They'll come off like, oh yeah, my mama this, my mama that. But at the same time, they still run a mama for everything. That's a red flag. Because if I'm your man, right, and I'm gonna use me for example, if I have mama
Hmm.
issues and you want to marry me, you want to be with me as your husband. If I have mama issues, every time something go wrong, I'm gonna run to mama. That should be a red flag to you.
Right.
But
Right.
you that I have all these issues with my mom, even though she was in my life, would you want to marry somebody like me? Because I'm steady running to mama anytime I got issues, but yet mama the same one hurting me. So that's the sign of an unhealed man. And that's the issue I run across with women. They're unhealed because they
Yeah.
never took time on what? Self. All they do
Hmm.
is go to church and pray, but they never believe in what they pray for. They never believe in affirmations. They never want to change their diet. They don't want to get up and go walk when they're depressed. They want to get on social media and scroll and find some motivational quote that think everything's all right. No, you got to do the work on self, sweetheart. So my issue is a lot of women don't want to do the work, and so many people ridicule black women. It's not just black women; it's all time.
Hmm.
You know,
It is.
to put them in a category. No, our women have suffered from so much. You know, especially our ancestors and stuff. So let's not put them in a category like that. We all suffer from some type of trauma, but everybody wants to be perfect.
Hmm.
Is too when it comes to the relationships with you just asked, a lot of people want their cake and eat it too. So they'll tell you that they have relationship issues, but they'll use it as a manipulation tactic to mess over you in a relationship. So I don't know how to communicate because my mama ain't never do it with me. You still old enough to learn. Because when you
Yeah.
go to
You
that
got to
job,
learn.
it's a lot of things that you don't know. But you don't learn it so you keep your job. So
Hmm.
nah, we're not doing that. Just like you can pick up and you can learn a new song that come on the radio, you can learn new things about yourself to better yourself as a woman. Just like I better myself as a man. So
Hmm.
everything comes about what you want to do, you know? So a lot of times I had conversations with people like that and it'll go good. But one thing I realized, like I said, a lot of times when it comes to that, a lot of times when I have conversations with them, it start off good, but I get told that I ask deep questions that nobody never really asked before.
Mm.
And it hurts below surface level. So it kind of makes them uncomfortable because they're not familiar with it. So
Yeah.
intentionally they become scared to deal with me because they never had a man to open them up like that. Cause when I'm with you, I wanna understand you. I wanna overstand you because I wanna
Hmm.
love you the way that you need to be loved. But in order for me to do that, I need to understand your traumas. A lot of them not comfortable with that because they never had that.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of times too, sometimes folks want to know your traumas just so they can kind of use those against you, right? But in your case, you're saying in a healthy sense, you want to know so you can get to know them and then maybe y'all can heal. Y'all can do some healing together. But oftentimes
Right.
I've seen when you share something with somebody, they can use that against you and that obviously that don't feel, you know what I mean? How do you trust somebody when you don't know their true intentions? And I guess in order to learn their true intentions, it's going to take time. So,
It takes time. Most importantly, it takes understanding. Whenever, and this one thing I want people to know. You understand a lot about a person when you listen to that first conversation with them on the phone. Pay attention to the consistency, the dialogue, they respond and everything. That will, when you pay attention to these things, when you get on the phone, that first conversation with somebody, it'll tell you everything about them. I'll turn into a CIA agent when I talk to people. They don't like that because I'm dissecting everything. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt till you show me otherwise.
You know, I feel like everybody always shows their representative in the beginning. That's a part of dating because you
Right.
are excited. It's the true test is when y'all start having issues.
There we
You know,
go.
that's
There
the
we
true
go.
test. When a problem comes up, how does that individual handle it? So that's the true test. That's what I think.
I agree with you. I don't disagree with that because it been. Listen to me clearly. Whenever I tell you that's where me and a lot of women have fallen out at, man, they had a girl fall out with me over her middle name.
Okay.
Weird, right? But that go to show you the
Yeah.
level of trauma that she hasn't healed yet from. And she went to church
Okay.
every Sunday, and every day she would text me a Bible scripture. I'm like, this is a form of manipulation. Love bombing, somebody just constantly, every morning, good morning, handsome, good morning, beautiful. You don't even know me that well. I don't want to overflow you with so much that you don't really know where I'm coming from. Let me
Right.
take my time. You know you beautiful. You know you're attractive.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that could come off as love bombing. Someone constantly texting you to, overflow of things every morning, every day throughout the day, overly possessive. Those are the type of women that I came across with trauma, with mommy and daddy issues. And when you pay
Mm-hmm.
attention to these things, man, it's very important. You don't want to deal with somebody who come out that strong because something that they're missing from their childhood, they're trying to get from you.
Man, I mean, you're saying, listen, you hitting the head, the nail on the head. So, or the head on the nail. Yeah,
Nail
the
on
head
the
on the
head.
nail. Thank you. Right. So I just kind of went through something like that too, where love bombing is a real thing. And then when you ask somebody to kind of like slow it down, and they're like, oh, then they come off all defensive, and why should we slow it down? And most women want to hear, most women want to get married.
Yeah,
Most women want
okay.
to feel like they're the center of, whoever they're dealing with world. And it can be very toxic. So women really do have to be careful. Just because they're telling you this and they're telling you that, or they're around all the time, those are red flags too. Because when it's too much, it's a red flag. It's like, where is the balance?
Yep. I got so many stories when it comes to love bombing, it'll blow your mind. It was a situation. I don't want to get too far in detail, but I was dealing with a girl. Man, it's emotional to talk about because,
Mm-hmm.
long story short, she put a gun out on me when I tried to leave her. Now, I wouldn't be here today if it, wasn't good for me, you know, being close to God, most importantly, but being good with my words because if I didn't know the right thing to say, she would have shot me. Um, I'm gonna tell you the early signs that I saw that I could have prevented all this because I hold myself accountable. I should have left, but I liked it that feeling she had given me because something
Yep.
with the stuff that I was missing that she was giving me, which was unhealthy, right? Because I wasn't giving it to myself. I had only known her a week. She had bought me my favorite cake. She had spent hundreds of dollars on me. She was going broke for me. And I'm like, I'm loving it, but at the same time, stupid, this girl don't know you. Something's wrong with her. She was divorced. She had daddy issues. When I say daddy issues, I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about her daddy issues were terrible. And in my mind, I said to myself, hmm, she said something to me this, and I promise you, when she quoted this, I should have left. She said that you're everything to me that I wish my daddy was, plus more. I don't ever think
Wow.
I could find nobody that's better than you. When she said that, that was her way of saying, no matter what you do or where you go, I'm gonna always be here for you.
Mm.
But that was unhealthy. She didn't even know me in 4 months.
Right. Wow. My God.
You know what I'm saying? So later
Mm-hmm.
on down the road, she put a gun out on me, and it's like, damn, I could have prevented this by holding myself accountable and telling myself this is not what you wanted, but this is what happened when you think with lust
Mm-hmm.
that are actually
Mm-hmm.
your knowledge ahead. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes love can look like lust. Lust can look like love. You know, you could lust at somebody so much you think you love them. It's just a feeling. You don't
It
actually,
is. Yeah.
you know.
And we know that love is it's an action word. It's not a feeling. I
There we
mean,
go.
it's
There we go.
action. We know that love, it could have a feeling to it as far as like I love them, but what does your action say?
There we go.
Because it don't matter what we talk about, right?
There
And
we go.
even we're all gonna fall short because we're not perfect. So when we fall short, are we able to humble ourselves and apologize? And what does that look like? So I think that's super important when you're in a relationship with someone. But sorry, go ahead.
When you said love is an action, I've been saying that for the
Mhm.
longest, and I'm not putting every woman in this category because you have women
Right.
like yourself that don't think off emotions all the time. So a lot of times we got to stop thinking that every woman thinks off emotion. We understand that most women are emotional. They
Yeah,
are
we are.
based.
Yeah.
Not all women are like that. You have some women
Hmm.
that are emotionally strong to know, like, nigga, you is love bombing me. I'm about to move around. So
Right.
whenever you just said that, a lot of times people don't understand that's the curse right there. You know, you telling a woman what she wants to hear.
Hmm.
She's not mentally strong, and she hasn't had a father figure in her life. You going down the wrong rabbit hole. She's
Yeah.
never gonna let you go if you treat her the way that she always wanted to be treated by a man. If she didn't have that father figure in her life, and you come in her life and treating her good, and all she used to is trash, it's over with. And
Yeah,
now,
I think if that person's not, if they haven't worked on themselves, absolutely. I think
facts.
that if they haven't taken the time out, because you know what, my mother, I don't know if you know some of my story, but my mother was my abuser. She physically and sexually abused me along with my sister as well. So that's why I do this podcast, because I know how important it is to talk about the generational pain, the generational cycle, and what that looks like. But I think one thing my mother used to say to me in the midst of all the things that she did, one good thing she said to me was, if you don't know how to live with yourself, you can never live with anyone else. And I truly believe that. So it took me a long time to learn how to live with myself and be okay with who I am in the mirror, the things that had happened to me, right? And being able to accept that those things had happened to me, and I'm no longer that little girl, right? Like I can protect myself. I got God, right? I can go to God and talk to him and pray to him, but there's also a work that we need to do as women or as people in general to heal, right? We can pray about it, but we also have to put the work in. And it's not, like you said, it's not easy. It's crying, it's feeling depressed, it's sometimes not wanting to eat, but you need to go through that alone.
Facts.
You need to take time out for yourself alone to get that, get that healing. And then when you come back together, or you meet somebody, there's still healing, there's still things that's going to kick up some of your trauma. But how are you handling it? Are you able to tell that person, hey, this happened to me? And when you say X, Y, and Z, it kind of kicks up some of that trauma. But then it's also, that's communication, right? But then it's also the work that you have to do is when you feel triggered, how do you respond? Are you like, all right, I need to go take a walk? Like you said, getting up, being able to take a walk, or, take a moment. I need a moment for myself, right? I need a moment, and both people being able to respect that. So I think a lot of the work comes from, you know, being alone, but then also the real test is when you do come together with somebody, because it's like all that being alone is easy too. Not, it's hard, but once you get used to it, it becomes easy. It
All right.
becomes easy. Like you get comfortable being alone. And I was married, I'm divorced. This is somebody who I've been by myself for 8 years. Try to date, it ain't work because, because, right? Because of, I find, who am I attracting, right? Like sometimes we attract people based off of our trauma.
Right.
But then when you come together with somebody, it's like, how are you responding to this person? Are you able to listen to them? Are you able to respect them? It's so much that goes into being in a relationship, and both people have to want it. One
Facts.
person cannot carry the relationship.
Facts. And I
Yeah.
what you said there, kind of pick off where you left at. When you enjoy your own presence, you will enjoy the presence of others more. Quote that. And the reason why I say that is when you enjoy your own presence, when people come into your life, you go tend to enjoy them more. If you don't enjoy your own presence, when people come into your life, whenever they want to leave and they got to go, whenever they go home, oh man, you're leaving me. When you coming back? You don't enjoy your own presence. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Okay. Yep.
You get where I'm coming from? So when
Hmm.
you enjoy your own presence, when anybody walk out your life, it don't matter. You enjoy yourself.
Right.
You
It
enjoy.
might hurt. It still hurt though. It can still hurt. You might be okay with them leaving and respect that, but we human. And
Yeah,
as women, I mean, I know we can be emotional, but yeah, it does hurt. And I think men sometimes have a way of putting up a facade sometimes. Like sometimes it may hurt them, but you know, they're
And
so used to being tough. Like,
well, the thing is this: a woman. This is my opinion. A woman can get hurt numerous of times and still find a way to love again. I don't know how she
mhm,
does it, but a man, it take one time for him to get hurt. He'll never truly fully love another woman again. So that's why I want to say that based on what you just said. Because think about it. Most women that have been hurt, they find love again. They love again.
mhm,
How many men you know actually love hard again? They might get married, but how many men you know love hard again?
right.
How many uncles you know that's been married 4 or 5 times?
I don't know. I ain't got no uncles, so
I know, I know,
my
I have
bad.
I have uncles that been married 4 or 5 times. How can you marry that
Wow.
many times if you love your woman? There's no way.
There's no way, yeah.
My point exactly. So a woman can get hurt numerous amount of times, but she could always love again. You know what I'm saying? It's so
Mhm.
many beautiful things about the woman, and I'm not pandering, but it's facts. It's facts. You know, she carries a child for 9 months. Y'all have a cycle every month. It's so much a child go through. So it's like, man, it's so much we can speak on when it comes to that, man. You know, but a woman can always love again, no matter how many times she been hurt. For a man, all it takes for you to reject him one time, and every other woman gonna pay for it.
Right.
That's why men can't take rejection. That's why you got some women that can't take rejection, but a man, nah, most men can't take rejection, no matter how handsome or attractive he is. He cannot
Right.
take it. Why you think they have so many alpha red pill content going around?
Mhm.
Those are men
Mhm.
that have been rejected. Those are men that have been hurt. So now they're inflicting that hurt onto others because they want other people to follow them.
Right.
You know, you become a reflection of what you're afraid of. If you're afraid of being hurt, you're gonna hurt people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, if you was hurting people at a young age, like just you was getting bullied, you was getting tortured. 9 out of 10, that person becomes a killer when they get older. Most killers, when you look at their backstory, they was bullies, but they started off getting bullied.
Mhm.
So
And a
that
lot of that bullying starts in the home too.
everything starts at home. Everything starts at home. Like your foundation is your home. Everything starts at home. That's why when I meet people, I always dig deep into their home life. And a lot of women I talk to, you'll be surprised. I'm 29, and I talk to older women too. A lot of women, they don't know how to rationalize or compartmentalize their own emotions when it comes to their childhood. It's like they never met a man who asked them questions like that. I'm like, I'm the only guy that you'd met that asked you questions about your childhood.
Well, then that just goes to show whoever these women are talking to, what's on that man's mind, and we already know what that is, right? So, and a lot of times you don't find men that are intentional. It's true, like that want to have conversations and talk about, maybe their past or how they were raised. Now that I'm older and I see even older men, like it's I don't know. This whole I think that dating has, and I know that this isn't about dating, but it actually is too,
Oh,
because when you think about your home life and then you think about the people that are out here in the world trying to date,
mhm.
it's just a bunch of mess. It's a bunch of mess. Like these dating apps, people not being intentional. Then you have people like you said who are lying, who's putting on a front, right? They're not being their authentic self, or they're showing up as the person they think you want to see and what's going to keep you around, and it's all fake. But
Yeah,
you can't fake for too long
you
because the
can't.
truth comes out.
You can't. But listen, I'm gonna tell you this. You have some people that are freaking good at this shit.
Hmm.
Say good, they are great.
But the spirit of discernment, I'm sorry, the spirit of discernment, and they always say women, we have like this gut feeling, or I say the spirit of discernment, but I know when something's off, like, nah, something ain't right.
And that's the thing. You know, right? Think about how many women that don't have that.
Right.
They know, but they don't want to confront it. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people don't want to confront what they're afraid of. The fear of the unknown is what's causing people to get hurt in relationships.
Right.
You know how many women I know personally that have an idea that they man is cheating on them, but they don't want to know. The fear of unknown. They have a discernment. They don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah.
That's where you loving yourself come in.
Exactly.
That's where you loving yourself come in.
Mm-hmm.
Ask questions. If they get defensive, cool. Sit back. It's gonna show eventually. You got to sit
It
around. You get
sure do.
attention, man. Some of us get so comfortable in a relationship, you never stop doing what you did to get that person. Once they stop doing what they did to get you, you need to sit back and observe. Because if you say something, communicate, and they get defensive, cool. I ain't gonna address it no more. I'm gonna just sit back and watch you now. Don't get mad. Don't get angry. You never show them where you coming from, because they're gonna eventually show what they hiding. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's all about communication and basically understanding. But like you say, moral of the story, your foundation or where you come from.